Janie Fricke is known to many country music fans around the world for her hits in the 1980s, along with her 2 CMA Female Vocalist of the Year awards. So she decided to take a spin at bluegrass with a fresh look at many of her most popular songs. That new release, Country Side of Bluegrass, is now available, and we caught up with Janie to hear all about that new project. Here's Kelly with more.
We're here today catching up with Janie Fricke, and we are going to talk about her new project. She has gone bluegrass, a country side of bluegrass.
Yes, I was approached with this idea from a record label, and they said, let's do your hits bluegrass style. And I said, what? Okay. So we did it years back, and now, thanks to Kurt Webster and his great PR team, has surfaced, and we are promoting it, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And on this, you did your hits. You also recorded a Johnny Cash song.
Yes, I did. I had fun on this because I did mostly my hit songs from the 80s. And then I threw in Ring of Fire just for the fun of it, and I also put in Faithless Love as a real pretty ballad. So we have a good time on stage doing these songs.
But you don't know love till it's chilled you to the bone, turn you inside out, left you all alone.
The difference for you in bluegrass, I mean, how was this? Have you always been a fan of that genre?
Well, to me, it's grassroots music, and I grew up doing folk music and just the acoustic guitar, and of course, playing hootenannies back in the 60s, and then the folk music era. I'd been through all of those eras, so yes, and a lot of the bluegrass acts have been my favorite. I grew up in Indiana, where there's a huge Bean Blossom Festival, which is a huge bluegrass festival, and I've been around it all my life, so I've loved it forever, and the instrumentation is wonderful.
Do you do any of your original country songs the way that you performed them in the 80s when you had all the #1s? And
well, believe it or not, I still do shows with my country band based out of Dallas-Fort Worth, so we do some shows that are still the standard country. In our show, my show with the Roys, yes, we do put a little country flavor in a lot of them, but then some of them we just take the swing beat and just move it right back up to bluegrass. So it's quite a variety.
You don't know love till you watch to die and beg.
I have to ask you about this because you actually sang on Elvis, one of his last album.
His last live album they brought to Nashville, and at the time I was a backup singer, so they hired our vocal group to enhance his last live show. So we started the project one week, and we were working with his producer, Felton Jarvis. Well, a week later, Elvis died. And then, you know, a week after that, we had to come in and finish the project, and we put the headphones on, and we just about, you know, started crying, and we just felt so bad. But his producer, Felton, was in the control room trying to produce the album, and then shortly after that, he passed away. So it was a real tough time.
Oh, wow, absolutely. Now, before that, though, did you get to meet Elvis? And
well, I was at an event in Memphis, Tennessee, because I was singing commercials and doing studio work there. And one night, they gave a big JC's award presentation to Elvis Presley, and we singers were backstage, and he winked at me.
I bet he did.
But I didn't really get to meet him, but I was really thrilled at that.
Oh,
my claim to fame.
What a great story. And then to be on the last album, that's just, even though it was a very hard time, and you guys came in and sang after he had already passed away.
We had to finish the project, and we barely got through it, actually.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us on Inside Music Row, Miss Janie Fricke.
You may also remember Janie as the voice behind jingles from companies like Coca-Cola, Pizza Hut, Red Lobster, McDonald's, and many more. She's had a very remarkable career. We still have tons more music up ahead, including an exclusive visit with a new artist on a major label as he launches his very first single to radio. We'll be right back with more Inside Music Row.